Before we begin, tell me something honestly in the comments. Which country are you watching from? And what time is it right now where you are? Because the timing you're watching this is not random. People don't watch videos like this in the middle of a perfect day. They watch it when something inside them feels heavy, when their chest is tight, when they're confused, tired, or quietly breaking. They watch it at times of the night, when the world is asleep, but their heart is awake. So think for a second, why did this video appear for you at this exact moment, in this exact hour of your life? Now listen carefully. Have you ever broken down so quietly that no one around you even noticed? Have you ever cried in a way where the tears didn't fall loud, only your heart did? Have you ever felt yourself shatter inside, and you had to pretend nothing was wrong, just to get through the day? What if I told you that your private breaking was not a personal failure? What if it was Allah protecting you from something that was about to break you publicly in a way you would have never survived? Think about that. That night you cried alone. That moment your heart suddenly collapsed. That season where everything felt heavy was not a coincidence. It was a rescue. Allah hid your breaking so the world would never see your weakness. He let you fall only in places where He planned to catch you, before the world could crush you. Stay with me until the end, because once you understand why you broke in private, you will finally understand why you're still standing today. Allah broke you in private because that was the only safe place to fall. There are moments in life when your heart becomes so heavy that you feel it will break any second. Moments when you try to hold yourself together, but the pressure inside you grows stronger every day. And then suddenly, you collapse. Not in front of people, not in front of friends, not in front of anyone who could misunderstand you. You collapse when you're finally alone. When the door is closed, when no one is watching. That private breaking was not an accident. It was Allah choosing the safest place for you to fall apart without being harmed. He knew that if the same pain hit you in public, it would have crushed you in ways you could not recover from. He knew the world is not gentle with weakness. People don't understand your silence. People judge what they cannot see inside your heart. People turn your pain into gossip, your struggle into a story, your tears into entertainment. So Allah, in His mercy, said, "Not there, not in front of them. Fall here, where only I can hold you." He allowed your heart to break, only in a place where He could rebuild it. He allowed your tears to fall, only in a moment where they would heal you. He allowed your soul to shake, only in a room where your dignity would stay protected. Behind closed doors, your weakness was not a shame. It was a conversation between your heart and its Creator. Your voice trembled, but Allah heard every word. Your hands shook, but Allah held every piece. Your mind felt lost, but Allah was guiding you softly, quietly, patiently. What you thought was you falling apart was really Allah pulling you away from destruction. It was His way of saying, "You are not breaking. You are being made new." Your private breakdown was the shield that stopped your life from falling apart publicly. It was protection disguised as pain. It was mercy disguised as loneliness. It was love disguised as heartbreak. Allah hid your fall, so your dignity would stay untouched. He hid your tears, so your heart could be repaired without fear. He hid your collapse, so He could rebuild you without interruption. Because if the world saw you breaking, they would have told you to give up. But Allah wants you to rise. So He took you into a quiet place, where only His love could reach you, where only His mercy could surround you, where only His hands could hold you together. You weren't breaking down. You were being safely unfolded, so Allah could shape you into someone stronger than the version of you that existed before. He hid your fall because He is preparing to reveal your rise, a rise that will make sense of every tear, a rise that will make you thank Him later. A rise that will show the world that what looked like your ending was actually the beginning Allah chose for you. What you lost quietly would have ruined you loudly. There are moments in your life when something disappears suddenly. A person leaves without warning. A door closes even though you tried your best. A relationship ends even though you prayed for it to last. An opportunity slips through your fingers even though you were ready to hold it tightly. And you stand there confused, hurt, and overwhelmed. You feel like something precious was taken from you. You ask yourself, why did this have to end like this? Why did Allah allow this loss? Why did everything fall apart so quietly? What you don't see is what Allah saw. He saw the parts of the story you could not see. He saw the intention behind the smile. He saw the danger behind the opportunity. He saw the betrayal forming behind your back. He saw the heartbreak waiting for you in the future that you were walking toward blindly. Allah sees everything that is hidden from you, the thoughts of people, the secrets of their hearts, the plans they never said out loud, the harm they were capable of, but hadn't shown you yet. So Allah, in His mercy, removed it quietly. He ended it gently. He closed the chapter without noise, because if that same relationship stayed longer, it would have broken you in ways you could not fix. If that opportunity had opened, it would have taken your peace away slowly. If that person remained close, they would have wounded your heart deeply. Allah didn't take something from you. He saved something inside you. You thought you were losing a blessing, but you were losing a burden disguised as a blessing. You thought you were losing love, but you were losing a test that would have drowned you. You thought you were losing stability, but Allah was removing the reason you kept losing your peace. Sometimes Allah protects you so quietly that you think He is hurting you. But the truth is, the quietness is the protection. There was no fight, no loud ending, no dramatic crash, no public collapse, just a soft closing of a door that was leading you toward destruction. A door you kept knocking on, but Allah kept locked, because you didn't know what was waiting behind it. Later, you will look back and say, if Allah didn't end that, I would have been destroyed. Your quiet losses were loud protections. Your silent endings were deep mercies. Your disappointments were hidden rescues. Allah never removes anything unless He is removing danger, and He never closes a door unless something poisonous was standing behind it. Allah isolates you to rebuild the version of you that can carry your future. There comes a time when life becomes quiet, too quiet. Friends become distant. People who once stayed close slowly fade away. The world feels heavier, but your circle feels smaller, and you don't understand why. You wonder, why is everyone drifting from me? Why am I alone suddenly? Why is my heart moving in a different direction? But this is not abandonment. This is preparation. Allah is pulling you away from the noise, because you cannot hear Him in the crowd. You cannot heal around the same people who hurt you. You cannot grow in the same environment that kept you small, and you cannot rise while carrying the weight of people who cannot rise with you. Your isolation is not a punishment. It is a sacred workshop where Allah begins to rebuild you without interruption. In silence, He reshapes your character. In loneliness, He strengthens your heart. In stillness, He repairs the wounds you tried to hide from yourself. He is removing old habits that don't match your future. He is pulling you away from people who can't walk with the version of you He is creating. He is breaking your attachment to temporary comfort so you can receive a permanent blessing. In isolation, your prayers become deeper, your feelings become clearer, your purpose becomes sharper. Your connection with Allah becomes stronger, because when you have no one to turn to, you finally turn fully to Him. And in that turning, He reveals truths you ignored. He shows you red flags you excused. He exposes the weakness you were hiding. He lifts the heaviness that was crushing you silently. He rebuilds the strength you didn't know you lost. This private season is where Allah upgrades your soul. This quiet chapter is where He makes you ready for what you've been praying for, because the future you are walking into requires a stronger heart, a clear min, and a cleaner soul. If you stayed surrounded by the wrong people, you would shrink. If you stayed attached to the wrong comfort, you would stay stuck. If you stayed in the wrong environment, your future would die before it arrived. So Allah separated you, not to hurt you, but to prepare you. One day, the isolation will end, the silence will break, the doors will open, and you will step into a life you were only able to reach because Allah rebuilt you quietly, away from the world. Your alone season is the birthplace of your next chapter, and Allah is writing it with love, with mercy, and with a wisdom you will understand later. Your tears were a divine reset, not a sign of weakness. There are nights when your chest feels heavy and the world becomes too loud for your heart to carry. You lie awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling something inside you breaking, even though you can't describe it to anyone. And then, without planning it, the tears come, quiet at first, then uncontrollable. You wipe them quickly, as if Allah doesn't already know what made your heart tremble. You tell yourself, I'm too weak. I should be stronger. I shouldn't cry like this. But Allah never told you that tears mean weakness. Tears are one of the most beautiful signs that your heart is still alive, still sensitive, still connected, still capable of feeling faith, even when life becomes overwhelming. Your tears were not a collapse. They were a cleansing. Every drop that fell washed away a little bit of pain that you've been carrying for too long. Every quiet cry at night loosened the knots in your chest that were blocking your peace and suffocating your soul. And the most beautiful part, Allah counted every tear. He saw the loneliness behind it. He saw the hurt you didn't voice. He saw the fear you tried to hide. He saw the weight that you carried, even when no one else noticed. He says in the Quran that He is near to the heart that breaks. This means your tears did not fall to the floor. They fell into His mercy. Your tears were a reset, a restart, a softening of the heart that had grown tired. Your crying didn't make you weak. It made you honest. It made you closer to Allah. It made your heart flexible again after life tried to harden it. Sometimes Allah lets a storm inside you so He can wash away everything that was not meant to stay. And when you finally calm down, when your breathing slows, when the tears dry, you don't realize it, but you are becoming lighter, clearer, more open to guidance, more ready for what's coming next. Your quiet tears were Allah preparing you for a chapter that requires a softer heart, a wiser soul, and a stronger faith. It wasn't a breakdown. It was a breakthrough beginning. Allah didn't break you. He broke the things that were breaking you. There are things you were holding on to that were breaking your peace slowly. Things you couldn't walk away from because you weren't ready to see their truth. There were people you kept close because you believed they cared, not knowing their presence was draining your soul drop by drop. There were habits you repeated because they felt comforting, not realizing they were pushing you away from the person Allah wanted you to become. And there were desires you were chasing because you thought they meant happiness, not knowing they were actually distractions, pulling you away from your destiny. But Allah knew. He always knew. He knew that you would not release these things on your own. He knew you were too emotional, too loyal, too hopeful, too attached to let go of something familiar, even if it was quietly destroying you. So Allah did what love does. He broke what you would never break. He allowed the relationship to hurt, so you would stop protecting something toxic. He allowed the plan to fail, so you wouldn't build your future on a weak foundation. He allowed the comfort to disappear, so you wouldn't stay trapped in a cycle that was lowering your potential. He did not break you. He broke the illusions around you. The moment things fell apart, your heart didn't understand, but your soul knew. It felt a strange kind of relief, even inside the pain, because the truth is, what was removed was never meant to travel with you into the future Allah is planning. It was blocking your growth. It was lowering your standards. It was distracting your heart from Allah. It was delaying the blessings you've been praying for, and so He broke it, not to punish you, not to hurt you, not to make you suffer. He broke it to free you, to realign you, to pull you back to yourself and closer to Him. You thought the heartbreak was the end, but it was the beginning. You thought you were being destroyed, but you were being repaired. You thought you were being punished, but you were being protected. Sometimes the most painful break is actually the biggest rescue. One day you will thank Allah for ruining the things you were begging Him to let you keep, because you will finally see what was behind it. A peace you never had, a strength you never imagined, and a future far bigger than the one you were holding on to. Allah breaks you only to reveal a strength no one believed you had. There comes a moment in every believer's life where you look at yourself and think, I don't recognize this version of me anymore. You feel heavier, softer in some places, stronger in others. You feel like something inside you has shifted after the pain you went through. You feel different, but you don't know what that difference means yet. What you don't realize is this: you are standing at the edge of a strength you didn't know you were capable of. Allah didn't let you go through that private breaking just to leave you there. He didn't allow your heart to collapse in silence just to watch you suffer. He didn't test you alone, just to weaken you. Every moment you thought you were falling apart, Allah was building something inside you, a hidden strength, a quiet courage, a new foundation that no one else could see, but everyone will feel when your time comes. People saw your face and thought you were okay, but Allah saw your nights. Allah saw your shaking hands. Allah saw the questions in your heart that no human ear ever heard. Allah saw the battles you fought silently while appearing normal on the outside. And it is because of those battles that He is preparing you for a rise that will not make sense to anyone. The world thinks strength is loud, but the strongest people were forged in silence, forged in nights where they wiped their tears alone, forged in moments where they forced themselves to stand, even when their soul felt weak. Allah allowed you to bend so He could teach you how to stand again without depending on anyone but Him. He allowed your heart to crack so He could fill the empty spaces with wisdom, patience, and clarity. He allowed life to silence you so you would finally hear your own soul again. Every time you cried and felt like you were breaking, you were actually being taught how to walk through life with a calmness that storms cannot touch and a strength that pain cannot shake. You thought your situation ended you, but it refined you. You thought your heartbreak weakened you, but it purified you. You thought you lost everything, but Allah was returning you to yourself. The real you, the strong you, the grounded you, the version of you who does not crumble. When life becomes difficult, there will come a day when you look at the mirror and suddenly understand why Allah allowed the breaking. You will see eyes that are no longer naive, a heart that is softer with people, but harder to fool, a soul that is closer to Allah than it has ever been, a mind that sees truth quickly and walks away from danger immediately. You will realize that all of this, the silence, the breaking, the loneliness, the confusion, the unanswered prayers, was not Allah ignoring you. It was Allah preparing you for blessings that need a stronger heart, preparing you for a future that requires a wiser soul, preparing you for a destiny that demands a deeper connection with Him. And when Allah finally reveals the reason Behind every moment you broke, you will not be angry about the pain. You will thank Him for it. You will say, Ya Allah, if I didn't go through that, I would have never discovered the strength you placed inside me. Your private breaking is the birthplace of a public rise. That will make people wonder how you survived, what should have destroyed you, and the answer will be simple. Allah was with you the entire time. Before you close this video, take a slow breath, because everything you heard tonight was not random. It reached you because your soul needed it. In this exact moment of your life, you didn't break for no reason. You didn't cry in darkness for nothing. You weren't pulled away from people by accident, and you weren't left alone. Because Allah forgot about you. He broke you privately, so He could rebuild you privately and reveal you publicly. Only when your heart is ready, your faith is steady, and your spirit is unshakable. Your story is not ending here. This is the chapter where Allah rewrites your strength, your purpose, your future, and even your heart. And one day, maybe soon, maybe much later, you will look back at the pain you survived, and you will whisper, Ya Allah, thank you for saving me even when I didn't understand. So listen closely. If this message touched you, if it felt like it was speaking directly to your heart, then write in the comments below, Allah, I trust your plan, because once you declare trust, your path becomes lighter, your chest becomes calmer, and your future becomes clearer. And if you need more reminders like this, voiceovers that feel like healing, messages that feel like Allah is speaking to you, words that lift your soul at 2 a.m., then stay connected. This space is your refuge. This channel is your reminder. This ummah is your home. May Allah protect your heart, repair what broke inside you, and reveal a future that makes every painful night worth it. Amen. And remember, you didn't break alone. Allah was with you the entire time.